Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Just started return to you today, or tonight I should say, for another album review for The Used and their new record Meds that I got a chance to check out for their surprising new album. They decided to announce at the last minute to release it on June 21st of today. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this 10-track record, which is only like 29 minutes and some seconds, so I'll let you know what I think of this record overall. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with Meds. When I first listened to this track, I didn't hate it necessarily, but it's kind of not grown on me after a while. It's like Bert McCracken's vocals sound very whiny, and it's like I understand that you're talking about depression and whatever kind of mental illness you're struggling with. Yes, I'm not making fun of people with depression, but when you tend to focus and drive into that topic too much, but in a cringy way, does it work, the music? Not necessarily. Some points it does, some points it doesn't. But still, this track's gonna get a 4 out of 5. As of now, I think it's decent, but it's not anything to write home about and say is all that fantastic. Then comes Fuck You, which is like, okay, very mature. It's like, seriously? You're coming up with immature lyrics, and just, this song is immature and not in a good way. I mean, I tried liking it, but I have to give it a 3 out of 5. This track is kind of meh. It's in the middle with me, but it's not great in any way. So, People Are Vomit is like a political track, apparently. It's getting more into the political side of things with, like, basically politics, which I said basically. So he's basically trying to get a little liberal with this track, and it's like, seriously, who cares? Like, this is just kind of a hard pass a bit. So this is a 2.75 out of 5. This one was, no. I mean, I will give it props where it's due. The drum work was pretty strong, but the lyrics are very controversial. Like, you don't know how you feel about it. So, 2.75 out of 5 for this one. And I stick by my rating for that. Sisyphus. Sisyphus, or whatever it's called. This track's alright. I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. At least this track tried to do something, or whatever. So, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. Then comes a very messed up song, Depression Personified. Yeah, Depression Personified. I will say this track is a red flag. And here is why it's a red flag. He's mentioning I'm coming to kill you and all that shit. It's like, why did you write this song in the first fucking place? Like, I understand that it's basically talking about the mindset of someone with mental illness, but this is like acting upon those thoughts in a way. I guess it's the mindscape of someone dealing with paranoid schizophrenia or whatever. I don't know. That's how I'm viewing it. But basically, this track is horrible. The lyrics are horrible. It's poorly written. And drumming wise and guitar wise is good. But try to be a little more censored in a way with this track. Because I understand that they had a reason why they made this song, but that's kind of going a little too dark there. So, basically 2.75 out of 5 for this track. It's a letdown. Then comes Terrified, another track that I'm just like, it's average, but it's not great. So 3.5 out of 5 for this one. I think Bert's vocals are not really doing much for me with this one, but it at least is trying something. Before I Leave is a 3.25 out of 5. It still sounds whiny with his vocals. I'm not hating it, I'm just thinking it's an okay track, personally, so I'd have to give it a 3.25 out of 5. Then comes Take Yourself Out, which is meh, in a way. Lyrics are basically saying to kind of kill yourself in a way, and it's like, seriously? It's like, isn't there any hope in this record? Any kind of light of day in a way? And sorry about the background noise, my nephew is throwing a fit or something. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just yelling a lot. So, basically, Take Yourself Out is a 3 out of 5. And I'm sorry about that background noise. He's just making noise, apparently. Tell Me is a disappointing track. I'm not really connecting with this song too well. It's just cringy all around. So 2.75 out of 5. I mean, it tried something, but the problem with this track is the execution, and lyrically it sounds cringy. With how it's just cringy with the melody mostly. And Bert's singing it is not really helping much. Pain Is My Therapy is a 3.25 out of 5. It's like, okay. It's like, I think we know what you were trying to accomplish with the song, but it just doesn't do much for me. So basically, 3.25 out of 5. It's okay, but it's not anything to write home about. Now, overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think this was a horrible record from start to finish. Meds was a decent song. That's probably the only track I could probably come back to from this record. And Sisyphus, those are the only two tracks I could come back to. Sisyphus is actually alright, and so is Meds. Those are the most tolerable tracks with this record. But what is really not good about this record is some of the lyric choices, and the writing for this record is poorly bad. And it just doesn't really interest me too much to come back to this record. So I'm very disappointed with The Used with this one. This is their worst record to date. So if I were to give it a score, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. This is just a letdown. I think this is one of their worst records to date. I think Fuck You kind of was immature, and it was like, okay, so basically telling someone fuck you. I know the song's about a relationship and all that, but come on. It's like, the writing in here is so cringeworthy. And the song Depression Personified was a big red flag. It's like, okay, so you're basically telling the listener, oh, I'm gonna go kill someone, in a way. And it's like, that's fucked up. That's a big red flag there. So basically, 4.5 out of 10 for The Used Meds. Not a good record. I was very disappointed with this one. I think the last record was a little more tolerable. Toxic Positivity, I think is what it was called. But this one is basically their downfall, in a way. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed my take on this. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. You don't have to agree with me on it. It's just how I personally feel when I listened to this album. And for 29 minutes, it's very forgettable. So with that being said, you guys have a good night, and thanks for watching this review.